Okay, so a student came here with a problem, and something's wrong with his sketch over. You can see this caution sign over here. In the feature manager, let's right click on this to see what it looks like. Oh my God, that looks ugly. Hey, one thing you might want to do is you might want to take some of these points and move them around. I'm going to take that center line and move that down a little bit, but by doing that now I can see there is kind of a problem. We want to make sure this is fully defined, so when you put in your reference geometry, your center lines, that vertical center line, make sure you got a reference to the origin up here. So we're going to take those two endpoints, we're going to make those coincident. Actually, the midpoint up here, the origin, and the endpoint of that line, we're going to make that coincident, but that still doesn't fix it. So let's take a look at this. Let's go ahead and take this model apart. Let's go ahead and do the trim tool and trim out all this stuff before we do the mirror and see if we can get this fixed before we actually do the mirror. So there we go. So that's looks like everything's in place. This is a driven dimension, so it's gray in the background, and I think that's probably the source of our problem here. So if you take a look at this sketch, I'm trying to get you to to work on and get this correct before you mirror it over. This should be a driven dimension too, but it doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's driving or trying to drive, and because of that, it's not. It doesn't like it. So we need to still have that 1.5 inch dimension from the top down here. But if we right click on that and tell it to be driven, it's going to be driven by existing geometry, then we can do something with that. So now we're going to take this point, that line, we're going to put our 1.5 inch dimension on that, and I think we'll be okay. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and drop that in place. Looks like it's black and fully defined. So escape a couple times, we're going to right click this, we're going to select chain. Otherwise you can go in here and just select the elements one by one, and then with the control key depressed, we're going to go ahead and select that vertical center line. And now we're going to mirror. We're going to mirror that over. Now what? But that's easy. Again, take some of these endpoints down here, move them around a little bit. So it looks like our 1.5 inch dimension disappeared too, because the arc on the bottom and the arc on the top are gone, and it's got nothing to dimension. So let's go ahead and put that thing back. So between arc, let's go ahead and drop that into place. Now, these are the center points of the arc. But if you drop that over here, go to the green check mark, go over here to leaders, and we want to make sure that the values, the conditions are going to be max. And we could also go over here to value and change the value in here too. So we're going to make that 1.5. And let's put that in this side where it was before. So that puts that in place, but it's still not fully defined. So let's take some of these points, maybe move them around a little bit. So the same situation as last time. We're going to take that vertical center line and the origin over here. We're going to make that coincident. Now it's fully defined. So that should get you on your way.